On the last day of his trip to Southeast Asia, South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol is attending the G20 summit in Bali, along with other world leaders. For more, we have our presidential office correspondent, Yoon Jung-min, on the line. Jung-min, what have we seen so far at the G20 in terms of President Yoon's activities?
Well, Devin, the president is wrapping up his busy diplomatic schedule with his debut at the G20 summit on this final day of his trip. A call for global solidarity and cooperation to overcome food and energy crises took center stage as President Yoon addressed the morning sessions on food and energy security, revisiting his promise of contributions by South Korea as a responsible member of the international community. To that end, President Yoon urged the international community to refrain from excessive protectionism in order to stabilize prices. And he put forth his vision for a green transition to sustainability, holding up as examples South Korea's smart farming and its use of nuclear power and renewable energy. Now, that morning session took longer than expected by over an hour and was followed by the afternoon session on health security. The South Korean president has met a number of world leaders at the multilateral summit, including those of Canada, Germany, the UK, and India, some of whom expressed condolences over the recent crowd crush in Itaewon. Meeting India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, they talked about cooperation on economy, business, and democracy between Korea and India, and Modi invited Yoon for a visit at a future date. President Yoon also met the new UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, who said he looks forward to continued close cooperation with Seoul.
And Jung-min, in about an hour or so, I understand a very important meeting on this trip. President Yoon is going to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping for a bilateral summit.
You're absolutely right. And before the actual sideline meeting today, they exchanged short greetings at the G20 summit, actually. The Chinese president said he looks forward to today's meeting, while President Yoon thanked him for the call he received from President Xi back in March, congratulating him when he won the election. Topping the agenda could be North Korea because of the high likelihood that the regime could conduct its seventh nuclear test. In fact, it's the first time in 3 years for the leaders of South Korea and China to sit down face-to-face. This comes on the heels of President Yoon's series of bilateral meetings with U.S. President Joe Biden and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida on the sidelines of the ASEAN summits in Cambodia over the weekend. Devin?